Hello.
Mario, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes. Actually, that's buenas noches.
I know, I always feel funny saying buenas noches unless, like, you're going home or going to bed,
Tardes is afternoon.
I know, but how would you say, in English, you say good evening? Doesn't mean good night.
Sí, buenas noches.
Yeah, okay.
There's no difference between evening and night in Spanish. In English, neither. Neither.
Ugh.
So where did you get a place in Montana and what city?
Whitefish,
Whitefish?
outside Glacier National Park, near Canada.
Oh. So how do you fly there?
Kalispell.
Where?
Kalispell.
All right. And then you have to drive a lot?
No, 10 minutes, 15 minutes from the airport.
Ah,
Easy. You want to come?
no. Too cold.
Well, in the summer, it's warm.
What do you have, a house?
Yes.
Big piece of land?
No.
Oh,
Hello.
I thought you had horses or cattle there.
No, keeping it simple. See how it goes. Right now, I've got a few pine trees and a lot of snow.
Yeah.
I hope to go in 2 weeks, I think. I'd like them to go some fresh snow, then I'd like to go skiing.
Mm-hmm.
Montana.
Montana.
Saw something in the paper in Whitefish.
Yes,
There's like an
yes.
apartment
The
complex or something.
billionaires defeated the town, wanted to build like 300-400 low-income housing type of things.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And
and
gonna
two
happen?
families were like, no, I don't think so. Nah.
how did you vote
Not
with the
gonna happen.
billionaires? You voted with
Yeah.
the billionaires?
Yeah, I side with the billionaires. That's why I'm there.
Is that what? That's where they daven? You daven with the billionaires?
Are there any Jews in Montana?
Yeah. There's
Apart from
Kenny, Cassie,
Sometimes Asher.
Akiva. Are you the chief rabbi of Montana? Is there one?
It's worse. I'm not only the chief rabbi, I'm also the chazan.
That's bad. As long as you're not the moil.
Yeah. I'm starting a kollel. I pitched Rabbi Krause. There's this beautiful piece of property that was a prep school called Summit Preparatory School that went bankrupt, I guess.
In Montana?
Yeah, so it's this gorgeous, it looks like a lodge, school,
Mm-hmm.
33,000 square feet on 600 acres.
600 acres?
It's for sale for 8.5 million.
Be a good meth
Nothing.
factory.
It's like
a good meth
less
factory.
than buying on Hudson. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. You get a lot more land.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great for a yeshiva? Hi, yeshiva of Whitefish. Ski, snowboard, learn
It
Torah.
sounds perfect. Yeshiva at Whitefish.
Actually, I heard Yitzi wanted a job. He could be a mashgiach.
He could be the mashgiach.
Hey, Chaim, the Rosh Yeshiva.
It'd be Kohen Gadol of Whitefish, Montana.
Exactly. You know what? That's an idea. I got to pitch him.
Don't pitch him. He'll say yes. He'll get nervous.
Move Gila up there. Gila could cook. She could decorate.
How far are you from a major city? We're like, what's the next closest big city?
Well, Whitefish is a town. It's so cute. I mean, it's restaurants, bars, music. It's maybe 6 square block. But the big city is where the airport is, I guess. And that's
What's that, Kalispell?
Kalispell. And that's about 15 minutes away, about 10, 12 miles. And that's
is that
like
where the
Walmart,
university is?
Walmart, Costco, Home Depot is all there.
Oh, okay, that's all you need, yeah.
But I guess we're 2.5 hours from what's that big city? Missoula.
And where's the closest shoichet?
Rabbi Rosen, he's in Kalispell. He's the Lubavitcher there.
Okay.
As he says, I said, you have a minion? He says, well, if you come, I'm one closer.
Wow, the optimist. There's university there, right?
Mordechai bought 7 miles from me for Heritage Retreats.
Uh-huh.
Do you know they're here, by the way? He's staying with me, Mordechai.
Yeah, I saw him yesterday morning, yeah.
They're cleaning out the house.
Your
They're
friend,
still alive, aren't they?
Yes.
Kenny,
Yes.
did your friend get in contact? Everything okay?
Yeah, I sent him to a guy I do business with who's a gold person. So they'll melt down the jewelry and hopefully he'll, tell him where to go to appraise the jeweler, the diamonds or whatever it is.
I told him where to go. So
All right, maybe he went there. No.
There's Joe and Marlene's stuff.
That was non-public information.
I figured it out.
Harold,
Yes,
the
yes.
20th of March, there's a big bar mitzvah.
I know. I was just going to ask. Yeah. We could do
Yeah.
the next day, 21st. We could do a Monday night.
When is the trustees? The 23rd, right?
Is it? March 23rd is trustees.
I think so.
That's Magda's birthday. Thank you.
Well, we're doing it in honor of her.
No, I'm going to tell her that it's a surprise party for her.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
so it only cost you $50,000 for dinner.
You're very
Better
funny
eat
tonight.
up. That's what I say to Cassie. We go to these things. You better eat up. That's an expensive plate of food.
You're very funny tonight, Kenny.
Thank you.
Kenny's on a roll.
Yeah, Reuben is the 19th, 20th that weekend. So when Ernie shows up, we got to tell him that's not going to work. It's a lot happening then.
Baruch Hashem. A lot of simchas.
I think we should do a Purim night. Marba Simcha Simcha.
Kenny, you have a lot of good ideas today. Here's our fearless leader. We can tell her. You can tell her.
Ernie, before we start, the 20th is the Reuben Bar Mitzvah. That's when I thought we were going to do the Siyum. March 20th.
Yes.
And the 23rd, Walter tells me, is the trustees dinner for Yavna. So would it be okay to do it the 21st, a Monday night? Is that okay with everybody?
Monday night's fine for us.
Harold, I'll do something better. It's Magda's birthday. The 23rd is Yavne's trustees dinner. Why don't you just we'll sponsor the dinner and we can make the siyum at the
Hey,
dinner.
why don't we just make the
I
why don't
can
we have
organize.
Magda be the guest of honor? We'll honor Magda.
She'll have to speak Spanish.
Okay.
No, I'm serious. The 21st, does that work?
Monday night is fine. It doesn't have to be Sunday night.
Okay.
I'm sure if people are not hungry, they'll be fine on Monday night.
Very good. Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
All right, Harold.
Shkoyach.
Unless something else pops up, sure. Okay.
We're on Ches Amud Aleph. Omar Mar. Beis Hillel Oimri. Min HaMaiser. That you can bring the Korban Chagigah with either Meiser Sheni money or a Meiser Behema. So the Gemara wants to know, Amai. How come that works? Davar Shebechoivahu. There's a chiyuv to bring a Korban Chagigah. We learned yesterday. Chol davar shebechoiva ein ba'olam ha'chulin. It has so a korban that's brought as a chiyuv cannot be brought from Meiser. It has to be brought from chulin. Amar ula b'toifel, meaning he has to bring an animal from chulin, but he can be moisif on top of that. If, for example, there are more people who need to eat meat, he can bring Meiser Behemoths on top of it as well. So there's a machlokes how to do this process of teufel. Let's say you have chulin money. You can't take Meiser Sheni money, add the two together, and buy a behemoth with it. That you can't do. But you can designate a chulin animal behemoth as the Chagigah. And if you need other animals, you can then add, you could buy with, let's say, Meiser Sheni money, other animals. As long as you have one of the Chagigahs from chulin, the other ones can be brought from Meiser Sheni or Meiser Behem. Rav Yochanan Teuflin Mos Lamos, he says you can add the money. You can take chulin money, Meiser Sheni money, and add it and buy behemoths. And not, if it ain't Teuflin Behem. And Tanya Kavosed Chizkiah, Tanya Kavosed Rabbi Yochanan. We have varieties in support of both shitas. Tanya Kavosed Rabbi Yochanan, it says, Misas nidvas yadcha sher titain. Melamed she'odem mevi choyvoso min achulin. That you have to bring your korban chiyuv from chulin. Uminayin shem rotze lo arev ma'arev. If he wants to bring others, he can mix. Talmud lomar kasher yivracha Hashem elokecha. You can add. You can be ma'arev, but it's mashma from that you can be ma'arev kesef. Not just behemoths, but even you can mix chulin money and Meiser Sheni money. Tanik, which supports what Rabbi Yochanan said. Tanik avazet Chizkiah misas, malamit shonim mevi chavosam nachulin. Beishamai oimrim yom rishon min achulin. On the first day of Yontif, the korban chagigah has to come from chulin. Mikan ve'elech min ha'meiser. But if you want to bring other days, only the Achila Rishon has to be from Chulin. The other ones can come from Meiser. They say, Lo Imrim, Achila Rishon and Achulin, the first eating, which means the Behema, has to come from Chulin. Mikan ve'elech ben ha-Meiser. Ushar kol yemos ha-Pesach, Adam yotzei de chovosa b'Meiser, then there's no problem that you can use Meiser Behema. Now, beyond of time alone, how come you're not yotzei, you're choiv with Meiser Behema? It has to be chulin. Ravashi dil mosi lasur b'yontav. You might come to do more Meiser Behemas, and when you do Meiser Behema, we use like a red mark. The after lasur b'yontav b'shum sikrasa. It's like painting, like making a color. So it's a gzeira midrabanan that we don't allow. Now, my mashmadai misas lisha dechulin hu. You learn, both of the Man Da'omrim learned that from the word misas, it's mashma chulin. Nechsiv vayos b'melech ha'chashveiro mas ha'la'aretz. Mas is taxes, which is certainly chulin. Then it said Yisrael yotzin de chovos b'nedor b'nedovos. The mitzvah of Shalmei Simcha, if you had made a donative neder nedava to bring shlomim, those shlomim could be used for Shalmei Simcha. The rabbis call minei smachos l'simcha. You can bring other shlomim for the mitzvah of Simchas Yontav for Basar. Mikan anu chachamim Yisrael yotzei chavasa b'nedor b'nedavos uva meiser behema. If a rancher separated meiser behema, he could use that for Shalmei Simcha. Now Kohanim eat lots of meat. They can eat bechates, v'asham, b'chor, v'chazav, v'shoik, matnais, kahuna. As long as it's beef, that could be used for Shalmei Simcha. Yachol af b'oifos u'v'nochos. Could a Kohen use a chatisa oif or a mincha? No. Talmud loimer v'somachta b'chagecha. Mi shechagiga bo mehen. It's got to be beef or sheep, meaning animals, large animals, which the korban chagiga can come from. You cannot bring a korban chagiga from a bird, and you can't bring a korban chagiga from a mincha.
How about an Impossible Burger?
And also not because it's vegetarian. Yotzu elu shein chagigah b'amehem. Rav Ashi says you don't need to know from v'samachta b'chagecha. It's me v'samachta nafka. From the word v'samachta. Yotzu elu she'ein b'hem simcha. Ein simcha l'babasar v'yayin. And oif and flour does not qualify for simcha. So what does he do with the word v'samachta b'chagecha? Hahulach of Daniel Bar Katina. The Amr of Daniel Bar Katina Marav. Minayin shein noisin noshim b'moyed. How do you know you can't make nesuin chol hamoed? Shenemar v'samachta b'chagecha v'lo bi'ishtecha. Ein marvin simcha b'simcha. We learned this already. Mishnah. Mishi yesh lo oichlim merubim u'nechasim muatim. Somebody has a big family, a lot of eaters, doesn't have a lot of money. Well, his priority should be maybe shlomim merubim. He should make sure he has a lot of korbanei shlomim so he can feed his family. The oilos muatos, he can save and bring as a minimal amount of olos as he needs, like the minimum of zmal kesef for oilos re'iyah. If it's the opposite, let's say he has a lot of money and not a lot of people to eat, so then maybe oilos merubas u'shlamim muatim. He'll bring a lot of korbanei oila. He doesn't need that many shlamim, because otherwise he'll be left over with a lot of meat. If zev zemud, he doesn't have money and he doesn't have a lot of eaters, al zeh nemar ma kesef shtei kesef. That's why we were given a minimum. More kesef for the oilers for ear, shtei kesef for the chagigah, according to Beis Hillel. If zev zeh merubim, if there's a lot of money and a lot of eaters, al zeh nemar ish kemat nas yado, kiver Hashem lokecha asher nasan lach. You can bring as much as you want from both. Now, shlomim merubim mehechi maisi. If he doesn't have a lot of money, how can he bring a lot of shlomim? We said if you have a lot of eaters but not a lot of money, bring a lot of shlomim. Well, Leslie doesn't have money. Amrav Chizda, toifel or maybe par gadol. He does this mice of toifel. He can add money from his meiser sheni, and he can bring a larger par. I thought we learned that you can't add money together, chulin with meiser sheni. It had to be by a behema. So Micah Amerle, what was that his response? Is what he means that you can only add animals. Here you have a chulin animal, and then you can bring other animals, but not joining chulin money with meiser money. Either way, there was another shita that says you can't add the money. You could do both. You could add money and buy a bigger par, or you could do behema behema. And that's keman the loikachas can loik Rabbi Yochanan. That's the third shita. The chitei mamarayu de pligi. Maybe it's Amaroyim that are arguing masnisa lo pligi, and it's not a steer in baraisa. I v'haktani achila rishonim and achulin, which implied that according to Chizkiah, you have to separate from a behema that's completely chulin, which is the achila rishona, versus a behema that's bought completely from meiser, which is the achila shnia. And this doesn't allow you to do it according to this third shita. So the Gemara explains, my achila rishona, sheer dmei achila rishona. It's just a matter that when they buy an animal from kesef chulin and kesef meiser, it's got to be the amount of achila rishona. Rashi says, achila rishona is stomach tani. The isle bein ba'asma they moshir achila rishona. So he has to be able to eat enough for the oichlin that are there. Amar ulam reish lakish. Hifrish eser behemes lachagigaso. A balabos separated 10 animals for his chagigah. Hikriv chamish beyond of rishon. If he only got to be makriv 5 of them on the first day of Yom Tov, he can makriv the other 5 on the second day of Yom Tov. There's no Indian of Baal Toisif. Rav Yochanan says he should have been makriv all 10. Once he stopped at 5, he can't makriv the other ones. Amar Baba, and really there's no stira, lo pligi. Kan bistam, kan b'mafarish, it depends. If he didn't say anything, I just separated 10 animals. That seems to be his kavanah was to do them all in one day. And therefore, if he didn't do all one day, he wouldn't be able to do it. However, if at the time he separated the animals, he said, I'm not going to be makriv them on one day, but I'm going to be makriv them other days. So that's the shita that you could be makriv the other 5 on the second day. Now, hi stam echidami. What does it mean that he was stam? Is it that he ran out of time? He was going to be makriv all of them on one day, but he ran out of time. So, why should you blame him? It's just that because he ran out of time, he shouldn't be. There shouldn't be a problem regarding that. You tell me there are not enough people to eat it. So there's also a reason to less. So the case is there is time in the day, and there were people ready to eat it. So so if he purposely only was makriv 5, he left over the 5, and since he didn't makriv it on the first day, he cannot be makriv it on the second day. And that makes logical sense. The chiyasa Ravin am Rav Yochanan. When Rav Yochanan and Ravin came, Hifish, they learned the halacha. Hifish as Rebbeim is l'chagigah, so the person was makriv 10 behemoths. Hikriv chamish b'yantav rishon, chazer makriv chamish b'yantav sheni. He's makriv another 5 on the second day, which is kashan adadi. That's a steer against the first statement of the Baraisa. So why are there 2 Baraisas? Lav shmamina, kan bistam, kan b'mafarish. One he was quiet, and one he was mafarish, shmamina. That's a good proof. Okay, we'll stop here.
Shkoyach, Ernie.
Tomorrow we'll learn